Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is day 8 out of the 12 days of Christmas. So once again, we're gonna start with the song. On the first day of Christmas, won't you listen to me? A partridge in a pear tree. On the second day of Christmas, won't you listen to me? 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the third day of Christmas, won't you listen to me? 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the fourth day of Christmas, won't you listen to me? 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the fifth day of Christmas, won't you listen to me? 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the sixth day of Christmas, won't you listen to me? 6 geese laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the seventh day of Christmas, won't you listen to me? 7 swans swimming, 6 geese laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. Eighth day of Christmas, won't you listen to me? 8 maids a milking, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. Okay guys, so today's video is gonna be all of the books I've read in 2018. There might be like 1 or 2 more books. There might be like 1 more book that I finished in 2018 or whatever. But so far, these are the books that I finished. First of all, in the beginning of the year, I finished reading Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. They're both really good books. This is one of my favorite books in the series. The Half-Blood Prince is one of my favorite ones, next to The Prisoner of Azkaban. I loved both of these books. I don't really need to give an explanation about these because it's Harry Potter and everybody knows about Harry Potter. If you haven't read it, you've seen the movies, you've heard about it, it's Harry Potter. And then it's like the 6th and 7th book in a series, so can't really give much of an explanation without giving it away. But yeah, both of these I rated them 5 stars on Goodreads because they're 5-star reads. And yeah, these are the British editions of the covers, and I think they're super pretty. These weren't the ones I read the American editions, but I have these two. And then, to keep in touch with the Harry Potter world, I also read Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by Newt Scamander, aka J.K. Rowling. And it was just amazing. This is such a beautiful book, as you may see. It's just wonderful. I think the ones with the dragons are like the prettiest ones. But look at this. Such a beautiful book. I hadn't read Fantastic Beasts before this, and I was like, it's kind of like a little boring, you know what I mean? So when I saw the illustrated version was out, I was like, I need to get it, I need to read it, and I did, and I think it made the experience that much nicer, like reading it with the pictures, because then you see what the beasts look like, and it was really nice. I really liked this book. Pretty sure I also gave it 5 stars, but let me check right now. On Goodreads on my phone, I have my 2018 Goodreads reading challenge. I started the year barely reading, so I like put my challenge at like 9 books, and I read 18, so I'm pretty happy with that. But let's see, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Yeah, I gave it 5 stars. It was just beautiful. And then, because you can never get enough of the Wizarding World, I read The Tales of Beedle Bard, the illustrated edition. It is beautiful. Let me open it to like a illustrated page. So this is what it looks like. It's quite beautiful. Really like it. I think this is a really pretty one too. There's some full page illustrations. It's a really good book. It's like 100 and something pages, but like the font is huge, and a lot of the pages are pictures. So yes, it's the book by J.K. Rowling, obviously, also. And yeah, it was really pretty. With comments by Dumbledore, because, you know, we need Dumbledore. Yes, it was an amazing book, and I'm pretty sure I also gave it 5 stars. We're gonna check right now. I did. I gave it 5 stars. It was really nice. I do have the original version of the Tales of Beedle Bard, like, you know, the small one, the one that's not illustrated. And I started reading it, and I was like, oh, I don't know. It's not, like, the best. And then I got this one, and I read the whole thing, and it was really nice. I think the pictures kept me going. But yeah, really enjoyed the book. 5 stars. And then we should get these 4 books out of the way. These were books that I had to read for school, but nonetheless, I read them. So first is Beowulf by I don't know who it's originally by, but this is the Seamus Heaney translation. This was a book. I'm pretty sure I gave it like 3 stars, I think. It was an okay book, you know. I get the whole monstrosity of it all. But yeah, I gave it 3 stars. It was a good book. We brought it. It's the first book we read in the semester, and we literally touched back on it throughout the whole semester. Pretty good, but not a book. But it's not a book that I would have picked up like, just like if I was like, oh, let me like read a medieval book. It wouldn't have been Beowulf. But it wasn't bad, you know. It's a verse. Oh, well. I have notes to say bring it up in class to the book. But yeah, it was just like it has the original work here and then the translated one on this side. So yeah, it was really nice, and it has some annotations on the side too. But yeah, it's a pretty good book. But not my favorite, but I had to read it for school, so it's fine. Then for school, I also had to read Quelling the Demon's Revolt, which is about Ming China. It's attributed to Liu Gongsun, I don't know. Translated by Patrick Hannon. This one I enjoyed a lot more. I'm pretty sure I still gave it a 3 stars, maybe a 4 stars. I think I felt like a 3.5. Don't know exactly what I put. Let me tell you right now. Quelling the Demon's Revolt. Okay, so I put 3 stars, but I feel like it's more of a 3.5 stars, but I can't really put that on Goodreads. It was a good book. So this book has to do a lot about magic, and it's kind of like we use this to see the differences in perspective of like Western literature and like Eastern literature during medieval times, and how each of them portray magic, and you know. So this one is more accepting to magic and to females actually. I feel like females had a better role in this than in like other books that we've read, like in Beowulf. None of them have names. The female, like Grendel's mother's just referred to as Grendel's mother, and yeah, so women aren't really given much of a status in medieval literature in the Western world, and they're given more of a status in medieval literature in the Eastern world. Another book. And then we also read The Book of Marvels by Sir John Mandeville, which apparently is not his real name, but nobody really knows his real name. This book, I did not like it. I hated this book. It was like a dread reading it. Everybody in the class was like, I hated this book, and I hated this book. It was so boring. It was just him like explaining the places that he traveled to, and like monstrosizing people and stuff, and like it just wasn't it. It really wasn't it. I think I gave it like 2 stars because I was able to write a lot about this book, but just because the way he wrote about people was just so bad, like it was horrible, and so I was just like criticizing how he wrote. But yeah, it wasn't an enjoyable book. I would never recommend this book. It was horrible. I'm not sure if I gave it 2 stars or 1 star. I think I gave it 2 stars because, you know, you gotta give it a little bit of credit. Yeah, I gave it 2 stars. I ended up giving it 2 stars, but yeah, that was this book. And the last book I had to read for school was Sundiata, which I really enjoyed. I feel like Sundiata and Quelling the Demon's Revolt were the best books we read in the whole semester. And for Sundiata, I gave it 3 stars, but it's more like a 3.5 star also. This is more of like African literature. We can say, I feel, more like not maybe African, but more like tribal literature. It was a good book. A lot of stuff happened in this book that was crazy, but like I said, we left from Western societies to more Eastern societies, and you see the difference in women. They actually have names here. They're still monstrosized, but they do have a name. So it got a little bit better as we moved on to the East. Apparently the West was behind its time, but it's fine. So yeah, it was a pretty good book. I had to read it for school. It's nothing like special, but it was good for the class that we read it for. All 4 books. These were all 4 books for the same class. Yeah. I wonder what class it was. It was Medieval Monstrosity. The next book I read was The Siren by Kira Cass. This is the book. It's a really beautiful book. I have been wanting to buy this book since before it came out, but I didn't end up buying it, and I don't even know why. But I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it 4 stars. I did. I gave it 4 stars. It wasn't a 5-star read. It needed some more things. But I love Kira Cass. Her books are those like books that you can like finish in a day because they're like quick pace and like contemporary, so they're easy to read. It was really good. It's about a siren, and she's not allowed to talk because if she talks, it's like luring people to their death. So she falls for this guy. I think she's deaf and she can't really like talk, but then she knows that he hears her. So he's like, oh, maybe you're just like went through a traumatic experience and you can't really hear and you can't really talk anymore because you get scared or whatever. But yeah, and it's kind of like the trials and tribulations they go through to be together, which is a really good book. And I really like that once they get into the water, they get like these dresses, like these siren dresses, like goals. I wish I could like get into the water and get siren dresses, but not be a siren. I don't want to lure people to the death. But yeah, it's a good book. I really liked it. It wasn't a 5-star read, but I did really enjoy it. And another book I read was Maybe For You by Jojo Moyes. I included this in one of my favorites. I don't know what favorites it was. I think it was like July favorites. The only favorites I posted actually. Yeah, I really enjoyed the book. It was a nice book. It was better than the movie because obviously we get more information. But yeah, I gave it 4 stars. So yeah, it was pretty good. It's a good book. I think the scene in the movie where he like jokes with her in the beginning to try to scare her, it's a lot funnier here. But yeah, it's really good overall. This one is different than the other ones because this one is adult. The other ones have been either middle grade or YA, except for the school ones. But yeah, it's a really good book. I enjoyed it. Twilight by Stephanie Meyer, or Meyer, however you say it. I gave it a 4 stars. It's so much better than the movie. Then I also read Cinder by Marissa Meyer, or Mayer, whatever. I don't know how to say their last name, I'm sorry. It's the same last name as Stephanie. Are they siblings? Is it the same person? I gave this one also a 4 stars. It was a really good book. I really do want to finish the rest of the series. I want to buy them and read them. It's not what I was expecting. Like, I started reading it and I was like, oh, it's okay. But then I got really invested in it. So it's about a cyborg. She falls in love with the prince. He doesn't know she's a cyborg. And then they're using like cyborgs to like help cure a disease, but they haven't found what to do it, and she might be the one that has it. That's basically it. But it's a really good book. I really do enjoy it. And it's Cinder. It's kind of like Cinderella, you know. She has the shoe that fits, and then she's wearing this other one that's like really uncomfortable. Foot, not the shoe, the foot that fits. But yeah, so this is this book. The next book is Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. I don't know if I gave it 2 stars or 3 stars. We'll see. I think I might have given it a 3, but I'll tell you right now. I gave it a 2 stars. I read Gone Girl by her, and I enjoyed it. It was good. I think I gave that one like a 3 or 4 stars. But it wasn't my favorite. Like, I don't know. I just wasn't. I hated the ending of Gone Girl. That's why I wasn't like the biggest fan of it. But throughout it, it was a pretty good book. It was like gonna be a good mastermind. But I did not like the ending. For this one, you kind of already like a little bit more than halfway through the book kind of guess who like the murderer is, or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, they're murderers. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there were so many like unnecessary sexual scenes where they shouldn't have been. Like, I get it, it's like adults, you want to include those. Like, they were so unnecessary here. Like, most of them, like, she was just like, oh, like, we were in the car and he started like doing this and like that, and I was like, I don't know, and she's like, I just went to his place and like we had sex. I was like, what does that have to do with the investigation going on? What? I just wasn't a fan. Maybe I'm like the only one that thinks that way. I heard Dark Places is way better than Sharp Objects. I don't know if I'm gonna read Dark Places because I've tried 2 Gillian Flynn books and they're not my favorite. Gone Girl was way better than this one. I can say that for sure. This one is not her best work. But yeah. I forgot to tell you guys what this book is about. This book is about this girl. She moves out of town like when she graduates high school, and she comes back because she works at a newspaper, and they try to report these like disappearances / murder cases that are going on, and then it's her kind of like figuring out who does it too. And yeah, it's kind of like that's the book, and you can tell really early on who does it. I don't know, I didn't really enjoy it. Maybe I'm the only one in that case, but whatever. So it's only fitting to continue with some more thrillers. And then we have Good Is Gone by Amy Gentry. I think I gave this one 3 stars. I'm not so sure. No, I gave it 4 stars. I lied. I gave it 4 stars. I just looked at my Goodreads. This is the Book of the Month one. It was a pretty good book. I feel like the ending, I wasn't really expecting it. Like, it was kind of like a maybe it could be that, but it wasn't like a yeah, it's that, I know, whatever, that's the ending. So yeah, like it was a good book. So it's about this girl. She's like 13, I think. She gets kidnapped from her own house, but like nothing was broken into, so they think her parents did it. And it's this ongoing investigation, and some girl comes knocking and says, "I'm home, Mom, you know, it's me, your daughter." And she's trying to figure out if it really is her daughter because it doesn't seem like her daughter. So yeah, that's the book. And we had The Couple Next Door by Cherie LaPena. I know she released a new book and I kind of want to read it. This one was rated lower in Goodreads, and I don't know if I rated it lower too. No, I gave it 4 stars, so it's probably a little bit less. This one, we think we know what happened early on, and then it's like, wasn't a plot twist, it wasn't that. And then we kind of like start assuming what it actually could be, so we do come to the conclusion before they actually say it, like after the plot twist, and it's like, oh, it's not really this person. You're like, oh, okay, so then it's this person, and then you kind of know. But I feel like it was still pretty good. I did listen to both of these in audiobook on my way to school in the mornings. Like, I was so upset when the time changed because I would leave and like leave for class at 6 in the morning, and like before the time change it was dark in the morning, so it was like perfect to read a thriller, especially these days it was like raining. There was this one day it was raining really hard, and I think I was listening to this thriller and it was like pitch black outside because it was like 6 in the morning, and it was amazing. But then the light like started coming out earlier, and like, you know, sunsets earlier, so it was just really like ruined my schedule. Like, I was reading my thrillers, like, listening to my thrillers in the morning, and it just kind of ruined it. And I also did the Jillian Sun one on audiobook. And then I also read The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black. I think I gave it 3 stars. It was kind of like a little like trashy vampire novel, so I liked the whole thing with, what was his name, Gabriel and her. It was nice. I feel like it was like the bad boy that was good for her, you know what I mean, that trope. But it was enjoyable. I read until chapter, I had read until like chapter 11 before, and I put the book down for a while. I had read like all of this before, and then I put the book down because it was like whatever. It actually picks up after chapter 10. I read up to chapter 7, yeah. And then I was like, oh, I don't know. But then I saw Brittany, the bibliophile, she read it on audiobook, and she was like, it's okay, it was pretty good, whatever. So I was like, oh, let me listen to an audiobook, and I listened to the whole thing. I think if I wouldn't have heard it in audiobook, I probably wouldn't have finished it. It was an okay book. It was like a good, like, fun read, you know, not something that you need to like devour or whatever. So like, if you're doing homework or like something and you want to have an audiobook playing, this is that one audiobook you can play, because it's not really like thick or anything that you really need to like pay like 100% attention to, but you still obviously do need to pay attention to it. And I rated this one, I rated it 3 stars. It was a pretty good book, but it was okay. Read The Red Pyramid by Rick Riordan because I love this man. I gave this 4 stars. This is he usually focuses excuse me, he usually focuses on Greek mythology, but this is Egyptian mythology, and it got me very intrigued because I do love Egyptian myths and like gods and stuff like that. I'm kind of like a history buff, and I really enjoy like Greek stuff and like Egyptian gods. Not so much the Roman ones, gotta get into those. But yeah, I started reading this one and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. It wasn't a 5 stars, it wasn't perfect, but it was a really enjoyable book. So yeah, it's a book. Okay, so there's 2 kids, their mom had passed away, and then their dad gets like sucked into this thing, and he gets like kind of like abducted. So it's them trying to like save the world and save their dad, and then at the end they have like the whole like choice of like, do I save my dad or do I save the world, and we figure out what they do. I can't really tell you what they do. I also have the graphic novel of The Red Pyramid by Rick Riordan, which is adapted by Orpheus Collar. It's this one. This is what it looks like. It's just a graphic novel. I don't know if I gave this one like 4 stars too, or like 3 stars. I'm not sure, I'll tell you right now. I gave it 4 stars because it's the same story, but just obviously more condensed. I feel like Rick Riordan graphic novels are really good, like sticking to the story, and they say quite a lot. So that was really nice. It's the same thing, just in graphic novel form, that I read after I read that. I read that one first, obviously, because I didn't want to know the ending, because it spoils the ending really quick. So those are all of the books I've technically finished already. And then I literally have like 28 pages to go to finish the second book in the series, which is The Throne of Fire. Really liked it so far. I think this one's a 4.5 stars, but it's probably gonna have 4 stars on Goodreads because I can't do a 4.5. But I really enjoyed it, and the battery's about to like die. So yeah, those are the books I read in 2018. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you. I don't know why I said thank you. Thank you if you did like it or subscribe. So